Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars for May 6th, because King Charles is getting crowned. That's right, the heir to the British throne will be adorned with a shiny new crown, scepter, and all the other regal trinkets that come with being a monarch. But as we'll soon discover, coronations aren't just about looking fancy. They're also about following some seriously bizarre etiquette. Before we start our video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Join us on an exciting journey through the fascinating world of coronations with History Bizarre. Coronation of King Charles III. King Charles's coronation ceremony will take place at Westminster Abbey, and it will be attended by dignitaries and members of the royal family. The coronation will begin with the Archbishop of Canterbury anointing the king's head with holy oil, followed by the presentation of the royal regalia, including the crown, scepter, and orb. The presentation of the sword of state is also a fun part of the ceremony, where the monarch unsheathes the sword and holds it upright for a few moments before returning it to the altar. These and many other traditions and etiquettes will be observed, making the coronation a fascinating event to watch and learn about. Let's dive into the majestic world of coronations throughout history and their bizarre etiquette. Coronation of Charlemagne. Charlemagne, who was crowned Holy Roman Emperor on Christmas Day in the year 800. The coronation of Charlemagne was a spectacle of grandeur and tradition, with many bizarre etiquettes that left people bewildered and amused. People were amazed to see the new king run a gauntlet, being hit with sticks and whips by his own people, an act that would be considered barbaric by modern standards. The idea of a king eating alone and without any company was also strange, as communal eating was an important aspect of medieval society. The custom of the king staying awake all night, praying and keeping vigil, also seemed bizarre to many, as it was an unusual practice even for that time period. Despite the strange and seemingly absurd etiquettes, however, people understood the symbolism behind them and recognized them as important traditions that added to the grandeur and significance of the coronation ceremony. All in all, the coronation of Charlemagne was a remarkable event that left people in awe and wonders about the peculiar and fascinating customs of medieval society. Coronation of William the Conqueror. Moving on to the coronation of William the Conqueror in 1066. During the coronation of William the Conqueror, people were fascinated and perplexed by the many bizarre etiquettes and traditions that were part of the ceremony. Some may have seen it as pomp and grandeur, while others may have found it to be a bit strange and outdated. The sight of a king sitting on a rock instead of a throne was particularly peculiar, and rumors and jokes abound as to why he made such a choice. Nonetheless, it is important to remember that for those who lived in that time, such customs were normal and expected. Today, while some of these traditions may seem odd or even humorous, they provide us with a glimpse into the rich history and cultural practices of our ancestors. Coronation of Queen Elizabeth I. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth I was full of pomp and pageantry with bizarre etiquettes that made people wonder what was going on. For starters, the Queen had to pass through a special gate called the Golden Jubilee Gate, which was made of pure gold and studded with precious gems. Then, she had to walk on a special carpet made of silk and gold thread, with a canopy held over her head by 4 knights. To top it off, the Queen had to wear a heavy crown made of solid gold, with hundreds of diamonds and other precious stones. People couldn't help but wonder how the Queen could bear the weight of such a heavy crown, and how she managed to keep her balance while walking on the silk and gold carpet. It was a spectacle that left people in awe and wonder, and one that they would never forget. Coronation of Napoleon Bonaparte. The coronation of Napoleon Bonaparte was full of strange etiquettes that left people scratching their heads. Firstly, Napoleon did something no other monarch had done before. He crowned himself. He then proceeded to crown his wife Josephine, which raised a few eyebrows since it was not customary for the wife of the emperor to receive a separate coronation. Napoleon also introduced a new coronation robe and a new imperial crown, both adorned with precious jewels. However, people's reactions were not all positive. Many considered Napoleon's self-coronation as a blatant act of arrogance, which went against the centuries-old tradition of having a religious figure perform the coronation. Additionally, Napoleon's lavish display of wealth and power further distanced him from the common people who were already struggling under his rule. Coronation of Queen Victoria. The coronation of Queen Victoria was an elaborate affair with many bizarre etiquettes that left the people thinking, what on earth are they doing? The queen had to wear a specially designed crown that was so heavy it required 2 attendants to support it. The moment the crown was placed on her head, a roar of cannon fire echoed through the streets of London. The people's reaction to this show of extravagance was mixed, with some finding it amusing, while others were unimpressed. In one comical incident, the Archbishop of Canterbury stumbled over his robes while handing the scepter to the Queen, causing her to burst out laughing. Despite these moments of humor, the coronation was a grand display of royal power that left many questioning the relevance of such extravagant displays in modern times. Coronation of King George VI. Now let's fast forward to the coronation of King George VI in 1937. The ceremony was held at Westminster Abbey, and it was the first time it was ever broadcast on live radio. Millions of people tuned in to hear the king's speech, and it's said that the broadcast was so popular that it caused a temporary blackout in the city of New York due to the surge in power consumption. Talk about a royal power move. Coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953 was not only a momentous occasion in British history, but also a showcase of the elaborate and often bizarre etiquette that surrounds such events. From the moment the Queen arrived at Westminster Abbey, she was greeted by a procession of officials and dignitaries, all adhering to strict protocols and customs. The ceremony itself included numerous rituals and symbols, such as the anointing with holy oil and the presentation of the royal scepter and orb. Even the seating arrangements were highly orchestrated, with the Queen sitting on the throne of estate while the Archbishop of Canterbury presented her to the people. Despite the mishaps, such as the aforementioned incident with the anointing spoon, the coronation of Elizabeth II was a stunning display of tradition and pageantry that captivated the world. When it comes to the royal scepter, holy oil, and orb in a coronation ceremony, these symbols are of the highest importance and are steeped in tradition and symbolism. They are quite important in the ritual and have a lot of symbolism for the monarchs and their subjects. Significance of scepter. The monarch's temporal power is symbolized by the royal scepter, a ceremonial staff. It is constructed of gold and contains the Star of Africa, one of the biggest diamonds ever discovered. During the coronation ritual, the king holds the scepter as a sign of their authority. Holy oil. The holy oil, also known as the oil of chrism, is used to anoint the monarch during the coronation ceremony. The oil is a mixture of olive oil, balsam, and various other ingredients, and it is blessed by the Archbishop of Canterbury. The anointing with holy oil symbolizes the monarch's divine right to rule. The symbolism behind the orb. The orb is a hollow gold sphere that represents the monarch's role as the defender of the faith. It is topped with a cross and is usually decorated with precious stones. The monarch holds the orb during the coronation ceremony as a symbol of their commitment to upholding the Christian faith. I must say that it is simply a matter of tradition and protocol which has been passed down through generations of monarchs. While some may find it strange, it is an important part of cultural heritage and should be respected accordingly. In conclusion, coronations have been an integral part of the history of many nations and cultures around the world. While the etiquette and traditions followed during these ceremonies may seem strange and bizarre to some, they hold great significance and value for those who participate in them. The reactions of people towards these etiquettes have varied over time, with some embracing them with enthusiasm, while others rejecting them as outdated and unnecessary. However, one thing is certain. Coronations remain a spectacle that captures the imagination of people around the world and will continue to do so for years to come. What do you think about the strange and fascinating world of coronation etiquette? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching.